Well, ladies and gentlemen, how's everybody going out there today? Welcome to the side, Jawn. We are in the building. I'm here with my co-host, Sharon Mullen, the chocolate girl. How's everything going, chocolate?
Everything's going fine. How you doing this morning, Dennis? Ignorant Thinkers Podcast, Holmes.
I'm doing good this morning. Doing real good this morning. Really good. I had a good night last night. Fell asleep early. Was prepared for today. So,
I
we got to
know.
get this show
And
rolling.
actually, everybody was looking for you. Like, where Dennis? Where Dennis? Where Dennis? I'm
And
like,
I
I'm
was
not
I
his
was
mama.
tired last night. I fell asleep.
I don't keep him in my pocket. I don't know.
That's what you're
Keep
going
him
to
in my
tell them. You don't
pocket,
keep them in
then.
your pocket. They're gonna have to find out.
No, get your hand out my pocket. They
All right.
said.
That's how they
Mhm.
killed Malcolm X. But
That's right.
speaking
Mhm.
of deaths, breaking news today, R&B legend Tommy DeBarge passed away.
Mhm.
I think he was he the founder of the Switch and DeBarge?
Yep. Yep. He found it. He died on the 21st, which was a couple of days ago. Yeah, he founded the group Switch in the 70s. I think it was 1976. Yes, 76 with his brother Bobby DeBarge. And El DeBarge was in the group, and then later on DeBarge. And he had been battling liver and kidney disease for years. He had a bout with COVID over earlier in the year, but survived that. But his health was really failing, and he was 60. What was he? 64 years old. Yeah, 64. So rest in peace to Tommy DeBarge. Um, I know my sister and I, we used to love singing Switch. We learned to harmonize to their music. Well, I won't say we learned to, but we practice harmonizing to their music. And that falsetto voice of some of the members, and but the harmonizing was just terrific. So if you're not familiar with Switch, the group from the 70s, you should YouTube it. I know they have plenty of videos on there, and listen to their music. You can't bring you can't duplicate that sound.
Sure
No
can.
one
That
can.
was some good music. That was definitely some good
Mhm.
music. Um, I'm I'm a big fan of Switch and and DeBarge. And Maurice Samuels is actually another big fan of Switch and El DeBarge.
Mhm.
He actually loves their music. It's crazy how
Mhm.
much he loves their music, but he loves their music.
Shout out to
Yeah,
shout
shout
out
out
to
to
the
the plug,
plug.
Donovan Samuels.
Yeah.
Although a lot of technical difficulties over here. There we go. All right. I was wondering what was going on. You hit the mute button.
Yeah. I meant
Oh,
to. It's that kind of day.
oh,
Things
okay.
going on.
Well, let's start with the other news that we heard today. The Phoenix Suns owner has okay, nothing came out, so let me say it the right way. There's a story that's about to come out about him about racism, sexism, and sexual harassment. This is from Jordan Schultz, who hosts the Pull Up podcast. Now,
Right.
we was talking about this, and I remember you told me that you have never heard that there's a story about to come out. Be on the lookout for it, and they ain't
Right.
already out yet.
Right.
Uh,
I've never heard it be announced that they're going to come up with this breaking story. Like when stories break, they just break. Even when it's out of left field. It's like when the John Gruden news came out, it wasn't, hey, next week some news about John Gruden is going to come out and then it broke. No, it just came out, boom, and hit everybody like a ton of bricks. This dude is saying, and then all of a sudden, he was the first one that I saw posted. And then all of a sudden, everybody, all these other outlets start coming out with these stories that they're preparing to break a story that he's being accused of these things. That that's kind of scary to me.
Yeah.
To
That
me, it's just
is weird.
getting too easy to cancel folks now. Too easy to cancel folks.
It's weird, and sometimes I just be sitting back and I think they're trying to save these owners from losing their teams.
How do you figure?
That's what I think. That's what I think is trying to happen. They're trying to save them, especially with the Washington football team. That's one in particular I see that they're actually trying to save, but it's not going to happen. That's the way I feel.
What do you think is going to actually happen?
I think they're going to end up having to sell the team. The Washington football team is going to have to sell the team, and then after that, it's going to be a black-owned football team in the NFL.
You really think so, huh?
Yeah. Chocolate City going to be back at Chocolate City.
Not with them $2 million homes everywhere. I don't know.
Chocolate City going to be back at Chocolate City.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just found that to be rather odd the way that people are, putting this out. I've just never seen anything like it, and it's kind of frightening. Yeah, that's my point. It's kind of frightening because all you got to do is just say a story is going to come out now. You don't even have to wait for the story to start trashing on somebody. You can just say a story is about to come out. You know what, Dennis? There's a story about to come out on how this one guy, he is so long-winded on podcasts that they started nicknaming him the long-winded, and then his name. And then I can say that and say his name, and then people will be bashing him before it even breaks, before it even really comes out. I mean, this is just getting crazy now. Hey, Dennis, some chick told me, I think I heard there's a story about to come out about you and how you used to dance on the pole when you were younger. Okay, I mean, I could just say that.
Right. Yeah, that is weird.
Is that where we're going now?
Might be
the next evolution of things.
I think that's the saving grace. Like, there's a story about to come out next week about such and such, such and such, and how he's, sexist, racist, and he got sexual harassment. Now you as an owner, now two things you got to do. Either you're gonna let it happen, or you're gonna try to get to the bottom of it. And most owners, they will like pay, to get to the bottom of it, see what's going on. That's what they would do. So I just don't know. I really don't know. Hold on.
I don't understand. That's all. I'm gonna say the same thing that I said last week. I just don't understand. Same thing I said about the whole, vaccine versus non-vaccine and all that. I just don't understand.
Right. That's the same thing I said.
I'm just gonna say that. Shout out to Jada Linsky in the comments. Said, girl, I know that's right. It's crazy how much people change stuff up. It is. It's crazy. And even if you have video evidence, people will change stuff up to make it be what they want it to be. That's what's so funny to me. You got video evidence. Oh no, like from January the 6th. Oh no, those are patriots. Ain't no patriots I ever seen look like that and threaten to kill senators and representatives, congressmen, and everybody. Nah, they don't look like patriots to me. So that's where I'm at. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Just drop the news. Drop the news. Drop it like it's a bad habit. Go ahead and drop it. It sound like extortion to me, for real.
See, if you don't want this story to come out, you need to do this for me. And he didn't do it, so we're gonna start leaking stuff. You know what? That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, Dennis. You're right. It could be some extortion going on.
Sound like extortion. That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
This is the closest Phoenix has been to winning the championship in a long time. Let's put this story out now.
Right.
What it sound like.
Wow.
That's why you gotta watch what's going on, man. There's too much stuff going on. Too much stuff. Definitely too much stuff going on.
Yeah, I agree. For instance, didn't something happen around something else happened around the Washington football team? Something happened. They had they had something out on the field or something, and
They retired. The Washington football team retired Sean Taylor's number.
Right.
They officially retired it, and they on the field they sprayed 21 on the field, and they had it surrounded by like that club gate. When you go to club, you're in VIP. A VIP gate. That's what I call it, VIP gate. So Patrick Mahomes' brother, Jackson Mahomes, decided to go dance on it.
Wait a minute. When you say he decided to go dance on it, like he saw it, knew it, and intentionally jumped on it and started dancing on it?
Yep. And the story he told is the story he told is that
not realizing it.
The story he told is that he didn't know.
He didn't know what?
He didn't know the number was there.
Well, how small was the number?
It wasn't small at all. It was surrounded, like I said, it was surrounded by what is it called? I call it the club gate. Surrounded by the club gate.
I'm gonna have to look at this picture.
Yeah, it's surrounded by the club gate, and he went and he danced on it with his disrespectful self. I'm not gonna get too into it, but I think he should be banned from going to any football arenas. Just for that, because like I said, that was very disrespectful. That, as you can see, he didn't do that shit in Philadelphia, man. He knew where he could do that shit. He didn't do that shit in Philadelphia.
Well, I tell you what, that is disrespectful, especially when you consider how Sean Taylor died.
Right.
And
they just put it there that Sunday. The paint ain't even fucking dry on.
What was he even walking around? What was he doing?
I don't know. You get that my brother is the richest player in the league, so I could do what I want type syndrome.
Oh, is that it?
That's what I felt it is.
Mm.
Either that or his privilege side took over.
Well, maybe they need to make an example out of him, and maybe you're right. Maybe he does need to be banned from all NFL venues for at least a year.
Yeah.
I may not say for life, but at least a year.
Nah, I'll say he needs. I'll say at least 5 years. Let him learn his lesson.
Okay.
5 years, he need to be dancing at home watching TV.
Okay, I'll say, yeah, dancing on it 5 years. But if he had spit on it, then for life.
No, I don't think he spit.
I got that thing with that spit. When you spit on something, that's it with me. I'm done.
Yeah, like them guys that spit on Trey Young. I don't think they should ever be allowed in the Garden ever again.
Those ever again. That's what I'm saying. Consequences and repercussions. That's right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that being said, we was talking about the NBA. We want to give a shout out because you know how we are big fans of the WNBA. So we want to give a shout out to the Chicago Sky for winning their championship, along with the GOAT, my boo, Candace Parker, and the MVP, Kalia Cooper. Straight out of North Philly.
It's Copper. Kalia Copper.
Oh, it's Copper? I thought it was Cooper. Yeah. It's Copper, my fault. Straight out of North Philly.
Listen, I'm a little jealous of this Candace Parker boo thing. I don't like that, Dennis. You can't be calling her your boo.
It's going to have to be just something that we're just going to have to deal with. You've been my boo for a long time.
I'm not No,
Yeah, we
there's
just
only
gonna.
one boo. There's only one boo.
Well, sorry to tell you, I'm here. We go to.
The only boo.
Well, we're gonna have to go to. You know what's
That's
gonna
why
happen?
we here on the side, John. We on the side, John, because I'm the only boo.
Well, we're gonna have to go to counseling. I think we're gonna have to call Doug back up
We're gonna
here.
have to go to counseling. Hey,
So
we're
we
gonna
go to
call
counseling.
Doug back.
Right.
Hey, Doug, you need to come back on the show because
We
I'm
gotta go to
having some
counseling.
problems with Dennis here because he trying to cheat on me with Candace Parker.
I'm
ain't
not
feeling
cheating.
it.
I was letting you know Candace Parker was around
Cheating on
first.
me. Mm-mm. I ain't feeling this. I ain't feeling this. But she was outstanding.
Yeah.
She was outstanding in that game, in that series, really. First of all, she was outstanding in the season. She just left the LA Sparks, the team that drafted her, to go back home and play in Chicago. That's where she's from. That is home for her.
Right.
And then you deliver. She delivered their first ever WNBA championship.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you can't get a better story. Can't get a better story than that. And they won in classy fashion. They kicked butt, took names, celebrated, but they acted like true professionals after that game.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
And they it's crazy because in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, Candace just started crying. Because when she knew she was won, she just started crying.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Still had time, but still, they rallied. They beat them 80-74 against the Phoenix Mercury, and they were what they call Phoenix Mercury.
Phoenix Mercury.
To the tune of "We Are the Champions." Of course, you play "We Are the Champions" when you win a championship. That's just that song will never go away.
No more.
It's always gonna be "We Are the Champions." It's gonna be "We Will Rock You" in the beginning while you playing, and it's gonna be "We Are the Champions" when you win. That's it.
Classics. Those are classics. I even like the "We Are the Champions," rap version. I even like that one.
I gotta listen to that again. I don't think I've only heard it but once or twice. But
yeah, I like the rap version.
Your Boo had 16 points and 13 rebounds and 5 assists.
And Doug said, "Y'all are too funny." We need counseling, Doug.
We need counseling, Doug.
Because right here on the side, John, we only talk about my boobs, okay? We ain't even talk about her boobs that attack her weekly. All right.
Boo? What you talking about?
Yeah, Doug.
I don't have no boobs.
Doug, make sure you write this down. You gotta watch her boobs. They attack her weekly.
I don't have no boobs.
I'm inviting him to the show.
Doug hasn't been showing anybody at the end of Stay Tuned lately. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have no boobs.
I can't make it to the end of Stay Tuned. I'll be having to go to bed.
Yeah, but yeah, she played well. She played well. Then Allie Quigley, she led all scorers on the Sky with 26 points. She had 5 3-pointers. 5.
Yeah, but she's a sharp shooter though. That's what she do.
Very sharp.
Yeah, she's a sharp shooter. You know what? I want to see these girls in 3-point contests with these guys. I really want to see.
I do too. Why don't they have them participating now? I don't understand. They have them doing the, the veterans when they do it with the veterans and what do you call that?
I don't know.
They have a veteran come back and a WNBA player and an NBA player. It's a team of 3, and they're all shooting from different spots, and they got to take their shots.
Yeah, they usually do. But they stopped doing that, didn't they?
What is that contest called? I can't remember what it's called. Somebody put that in the comments because I can never remember the name of that contest.
I do know what you're talking about, but only thing is I'm sitting here thinking about I thought they stopped that a couple years ago.
Oh, they didn't do that last year?
Well, last year a lot of things didn't get done.
Well, I thought they just
before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I think they stopped doing it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they did it in 19.
I could be
Okay.
wrong though.
But anyway, and then your girl, Kalia Copper, she was named Finals MVP. She
Right.
told somebody in an interview when she went into the gym and she saw Allie Quigley was in there shooting around. She said, I knew we were gonna win there. She said it's over. Allie's in there practicing her shot, and she's already a sharpshooter. She knew they were gonna win. That was it.
Yeah, Ali's a sharpshooter.
She was
A
not.
lot of them girls. Oh,
You know,
okay.
you could tell that she was. You could tell that she was locked in too. They were all locked in. Those girls were locked in. But let me say something about this. Oh, I know. I wanted you to tell. What can you say about Kalia Copper? Where is she from?
She from North Philadelphia. There's a lot of famous people that came out of North Philadelphia. You got Meek Mills, Bill Cosby, Rasheed Wallace, $1 million worth of game. Dawn Staley, who just got that big contract for 7 years in South Carolina, $22 million. She is the highest paid coach highest paid female coach in NCAA history.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to her. I think she's about to be on that up echelon up there with the what's the coach name used to coach Tennessee? Female lady. She just died in 2016.
Oh, Pat Summitt.
And Pat Summitt. She about to be up there with Pat Summitt. And the lady that coached UConn.
Speaking of Pat Summitt, I love the way Candace Parker always pays homage to Pat Summitt whenever she's talking about, basketball. She's always giving her credit, always mentioning Pat Summitt in some type of positive way. For people who do not understand that, Pat Summitt was her coach, and she learned most of her her other levelness from Pat Summitt and playing on her teams at what's the name of the university?
Tennessee University.
University of Tennessee.
Tennessee University.
So they were, the Sky came all the way from being an expansion team in 2006, and now they have actually won their first WNBA title. You would think that when they had this parade, that everybody in Chicago would be just beside themselves and pouring out into the streets to celebrate this win. But is that what we saw, Dennis? Is that what we saw? Did we see a ton of people at the parade?
No, the parade was kind of flat. Parade was flat, but sometimes that happens. Like the parade and the flat, but the championship game was packed. That was a sold out. That was a sold out arena.
Yeah, I made a point of that. Making sure people knew that arena was sold out. So you didn't see just 2,000 people at the game. It was sold out, which was over 10. So I thought that was a big deal.
Right, and I think the reason why the stadium the parade wasn't packed, because they probably didn't honor it as big as they honor, if the Bulls won, or if the Chicago Bears won, or the White Sox, or the Cubs. They didn't honor it like that. When you win I just found this out. When you win a championship, there's no school on that parade day. I just found that out. All right. In my city, about 2009. Mm-hmm. That's when I found that out. Now, other teams in my city, the lower teams that was winning, like the lacrosse team, and we got lacrosse, we got the Philadelphia Union, and there's one more team that was winning a lot. The Philadelphia Soul. When they won, it was just a parade. It wasn't nothing like that. When Villanova won a championship, it was a parade. Wasn't no school off or nothing like that. But when the Phillies won, there was no school on that parade day.
What?
Yeah, there was no school.
They canceled school?
They canceled school that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they ain't never canceled school where we are. Ohio State won all kind of stuff. They didn't cancel school. Ohio State, when the Reds won, they didn't cancel school. When the Reds won, world championship in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Can't say nothing about nobody else in Ohio because when I was a kid, didn't nobody win nothing.
We had, as a matter of fact, the day the Sixers played the Lakers, we had a half a day of school that day.
No.
In 2001, the day the Sixers played the Lakers, there was a pep rally downtown. It was the big Beat LA pep rally. Beat LA pep rally that was downtown.
Down here in North Carolina, we got the Carolina Hurricanes. They just won a cup. They didn't close down school for, I don't know, the Stanley Cup, whatever. They didn't close down school for that.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. Cam Newton went to the Super Bowl. They didn't close schools in Charlotte. I don't understand.
They didn't close schools when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl either. But when we won it, I don't know what happened when we won. I don't know if school was open or not. Because I was working at a college at the time.
Well, here's the thing. They people made excuses talking about the parade was doing the work day and all this stuff. Well, they always are doing the work day. But people turn out.
Wait.
I just think this is
I take that back. There was no school on that parade day for the Eagles.
Well, I think this is just more shade at the WNBA. I think it's unwarranted, but that's okay. With time, this will change. They just have to stick with it. But here's the important thing to remember though, and to know about though with the WNBA. Now that the championship is taking place, and the GOAT has been announced. They had their first, vote for the GOAT contest, and the fans picked who?
Candace Parker.
No.
Diana Taurasi.
That's right. Diana Taurasi was named the GOAT. This happened before the finals, and so she got that notification, right? That recognition that she is the GOAT of the WNBA, right? Then we have the finals, and in the game, she pushes a ref.
Yeah.
And the WNBA was so outraged by that behavior, they fined her a whopping $2,500. Like, fined? Why didn't they eject her out the game?
That's what I was thinking.
Because if that was Chris Paul that pushed the ref, he would have been ejected and fined.
But he got a reputation. So we got to think about somebody that don't
Steph Curry, who doesn't have a reputation.
No, he don't have a reputation. You think he would have got ejected and fined?
You put your hands on a ref like she did, you're out the game in the NBA.
I know Draymond would have got a 2-game suspension.
Let me tell you, there was I can't remember who the player was. There was a player who went up to the ref and was really just talking and explaining and accidentally hit the ref out the game. You can actually tell that it was a hand motion in their discussion that hit the ref out the game. There's no tolerance for it.
I seen them give a technical to Rasheed Wallace for staring at a ref.
I know.
And I see Steve.
Wait a minute. But Rasheed had a rep.
Yeah.
Remember when the ref gave a technical to Tim Duncan for looking at him from the bench?
Yeah.
He was on the bench.
I remember that. They was getting out of control with them technicals.
Yes. And so this is what I'm saying. Why wouldn't she? I've seen this question asked all up and through my timeline too. She should have been ejected from the game. I'm a Diana Taurasi fan, but right is right and wrong is wrong. She should have been ejected. And that's it, and that's all. And so I guess Chicago was like, okay, your ass shouldn't have been here no way, so we just gonna handle this, right?
I mean, she had a bad, and the game after that, she had a terrible game after that.
Yeah.
She had a terrible. I mean, she was trying.
Like I told you, But like I told you, she was probably tired because her wife just had a baby. Baby probably kept her up all night.
Trying to say.
I'm just saying, when you don't get rest, you can't gear up for that physical contest when you ain't got rest. But I also wanted to say this. After the game, did you know that the Phoenix Mercury did not do a press conference? They did not talk to any press after the game, after they lost. I
know
didn't
that.
realize that at first, but I kept trying to find video of press conference and couldn't find it. I thought it was just me. But then what I read was they actually declined to speak to the press after the game.
Wow.
Then we hear that Diana Taurasi busted the door in the visitors' locker room.
That sounds
When
about
they
right.
showed the picture
Frustration.
of the door all broke up. So, I mean, it's not a good look. In other words, she's been named the GOAT, but now she's doing things that's not leaving herself in a good light, in my opinion. Now, is this lightweight compared to what I've seen some NBA players do? Yes, it is. Don't start bashing me in the comments talking about how I'm being too hard on the women or anything like that. I'm not. I'm just saying there's a certain way that I expect you to act. And do you remember after the Carolina Panthers lost in the Super Bowl and how Cam Newton was bashed when he got up and walked out the conference, the press conference? Do you remember that?
I remember that. I remember they were saying, I remember a lot about that Cam Newton Super Bowl. Like they were saying how he just looked drained and emotionally tired throughout that whole week because of the press and everything that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember all
Well,
of that.
I remember him getting bashed by everybody, even Stephen A. And that bothered me. And I'm a fan of Stephen A. But they bashed him for getting up. He had enough, and he got up and left the press conference because he could hear the other team celebrating the Broncos because the Broncos were right behind him on the other side of the wall, and you could hear them hooping and hollering, and it got next to him. So he left the press conference. The Phoenix Mercury didn't even talk to one press member. Where's the outrage from the press on that?
Well, see, I
Where's the
don't think
outrage?
that's in their contract that they have to talk to the press. See that, and
Okay,
that's
because the
the difference
contract is
between
not.
that's what I like to call the Marshawn Lynch rule. See, you have to talk to the press with
Got you.
that.
But my thing is, that's poor sportsmanship if you don't want to show your face after you get your butt beat in the finals.
I mean, it
Regardless
is.
of what's in your contract, you need to face the media and at least answer a couple questions. Now, I understand not wanting to.
Right.
I get it. But to me, that's all a part of being a good sport, though. They did no press. That's not right. I just didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. And why aren't people more upset about it? I'm trying to keep from saying something. I'm gonna keep from saying it. I'm just not gonna say it.
Don't say it.
But I just wonder why the press isn't more upset about it. Why isn't this being talked more about by fans? The fact that they did no press after their defeat. That's one thing. And also the Atlanta Dream. Isn't it Atlanta Dream?
Yeah.
The Atlanta Dream. From what I read this morning, they were involved in some type of brawl recently. There's a video of them actually fighting some folks.
Wow.
So an investigation is supposed to be done to that. When it was first reported, there was no video. So the team or the league didn't really do anything to the players. Now the video is out. You got to see the video. It is absolutely crazy. And this is the team that's being applauded for getting rid of that racist co-owner they had, that chick who was a senator down in Georgia that they helped to get out of office and put Raphael Warnock in. They got rid of Kelly somebody. They got rid of her butt. So they were being praised for that. Now they on camera. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, the WNBA's got their work cut out for them in this offseason because they're going to have to investigate what happened with that team. They're gonna have to investigate what's up with this beat, breaking the door. Is she gonna get some type of, you can't be breaking up stuff. They're gonna have to deal with that. The parade is what it is. So
Right. I like and I
investigate.
actually like the parade. The parade is gonna get better. Trust me, it's gonna get better. Chicago wasn't ready. That's all. It's gonna get better. Now, I want to ask you a question. All right, and it's the question of the day. Why do men think that money? Wait, let me make sure I read this right. Why do men think that it's money that attracts women?
What you mean? Money? What you mean?
Well, I
Again?
know kind of both sides of what they're trying to say. One side they're trying to say if you ain't got no money, you ain't gonna get no girl, which is wrong because you can get a female without having money. But they also trying to say you can buy your way to some love or some romance or some sexual healing.
Healing? Okay, well, I don't know. I guess it's partially true.
Yeah,
I guess
because
it's partially true.
I think it depends on the woman. That's what I say.
Well, let me explain. I always got something to say when I say let me explain. Well, let me explain. The idea of dating and all that, goes back centuries or whatever you want to say about it. But the way that it used to be is the men were the pursuers, right? The men were the pursuers. Women have to sit around and look pretty and wait to be chosen. That's how it was, right? It's part of that responsibility of the men is they had to do things or say things or accomplish things to win over these young ladies to so they can have their pick of whoever they wanted. So the more accomplished you were as a man, the more varying your choices were. You can have anybody you wanted. The less you have, the more limited your choices. That's what people said. That's how the times work. But women always had to sit up there and wait. So you fast forward till now. I know we talked about on this show before about women asking men to get married and all that foolishness that I told you I would never do. Then there's a conversation about who pays for the dates when you go out on dates and all of that. Well, men should pay. And if men are going to pay, then they have to have a job enough to pay so they can afford to pay, which means they have to have money. So that's where the whole money comes from. The whole money question comes from. How did you say it? Why do men think it's money that attracts women? Because we're told that you're going to pay. They're told that they're going to pay. They're told by their daddies, their uncles, their mamas, sisters, cousins, aunties. We all tell y'all from birth, when you ask a girl out, you got to pay. If
Right.
you live in Steve Harvey's household, that's how you raise. His daughters are raised. No, he's going to pay. You don't pay for nothing. And
I
that's
agree
how I
with
was
that.
raised. So that's how it is. I attract men who don't mind paying. Men who mind paying, I don't date them. They don't pick me. They don't choose to go out with me. I guess there must be some vibe that I throw off because they shy away from me. And that's fine with me because I'm old fashioned on that. And I do feel like they should pay. The disconnect comes when there is an expectation that comes with them paying. That's where the problem comes between men and women. Because these newfangled men think that because they pay, that they are supposed to get some ass in return. And that's not what this is about. I'm not a prostitute. I'm a woman. So I don't care how much money you spend on me. Doesn't mean you're going to jump in the sheets with me. That doesn't mean that. And I believe that men know this. At least the ones that are brave enough to ask me out. How do you
Mm,
like that answer?
I like it. I like that one. Yeah, I was always told to pay. Like my mom always told me, it's good for you to pay for the dates and all, but once y'all went on a couple of dates, they ain't offering, to pay for a soda or something, nothing. Like if y'all go to the movies, they ain't trying to get the candy or nothing. And if I gave my mom, I told her, no, you don't need to be well. That was usually what she said.
I
After
don't
a
think
couple
that's
of
ever
dates, if y'all go to the movies
yeah.
and they ain't offering to buy nothing, no candy, no nothing, none of that, then you don't need to be with them.
Well, it's not. I don't think that should be a hard fast rule though. Like after 2 or 3 days, if she doesn't offer, then this means this is this type of woman. No, I don't think that's true. I'm probably one of the most generous people you would ever know,
Right.
ever. But just because we're on date 3 doesn't mean I'm gonna jump up and start offering to pay for stuff. But then
Okay.
by date 5, I might pay for all of it. I might surprise you one day and come to you with a gift out of the blue for no reason at all because I roll like that. But I can't get to that if you're putting the 3 date expectation on me and I don't deliver that, then you stop asking me out. So I can't get to the gifts on the 5th date or the 10th date or whenever it is. Some things cannot be guided by rules. That's my point. I think
Some
rules
things,
are
some things you just got
important,
to go with the flow.
but some things you got to go with the flow. Right. Oh, shout out to OG in the comments. He said men are the hunters, not the cash drawer. Money hungry, keep it moving.
Right.
Okay. But I hope I'm not coming across as money hungry because that's not me. But if you're gonna ask me out, you're gonna pay. That's it. That's how it's gonna be. I don't pay for dates when I go out with like that. If I go out with my girls, yeah. But if I'm going out with a guy, he asked me out, no. If I ask him out, I will pay. But if he jumps up and says, no, I got this, that's a feather in his cap for me. And I've had many men do that, even though I asked them out. Not ask them out, but like, hey, you want to go with me to so and so and so? That type of ask out. I don't mean, hey, baby, I want to get to know you. Can we go out? I don't mean that. I don't mean
No, no,
that.
no. I mean, yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
was talking about. That X out, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't do that. But with the like if we've been going out for a while, but like, hey, I have to go to this, I have to go to this, whatever, whatever. And it's dinner, and it's a dinner and so forth, and it's gonna be dancing afterwards, and the tickets are blah blah blah. I got 2 tickets, you want to go. And we decide to go. If we go somewhere after that and he'll offer to pay, they always offer to pay. It's like I've never had an issue with who's paying for what. Not in my entire life, and I'm 55. I've never had an issue with that.
Okay.
Except
I
one
ain't had
guy.
no issue with the
Except
paying
one
situation either.
guy, and that's why we only went out one time. We never went out again.
Mm.
And his whole reason was he didn't want to pay for the second date.
Well, he should have. If he didn't want to pay for the
He
second
didn't
date,
want
he
to
should
pay for
have.
the second date.
He should have used his player move and made the second date uh dinner in the movie at the house. That's what he should have did if he didn't want to pay for the second date.
No, he knew I wouldn't. He knew I wasn't coming to his house. I had already told him that.
Oh,
I don't know you. I don't know you well enough. Our first date, we went and played miniature golf. We had a ball. When I tell you we had a ball, that's still one of the funnest dates I ever been on. I mean, the dude
oh,
is
that's a good
so
question.
funny, right? He was so funny, man. And I mean, we were clicking. Not that attractive. He wasn't that attractive, but he was funny, right? He's a good dude. And he was funny. And we had so much fun. We played golf. I think we did something. What else? We hit baseball. They had batting cages and stuff. We did that. We talked. We ate and drunk, stuff. And then we said our goodbyes and went on home. We just met. It was the first time ever seeing each other.
Oh, okay.
Next time he asked me out, and he was like, "But you paying for this one this time, right?" And that's how he
Damn.
said it. And I was like, "No." I mean, I just said it matter of factly, no. Is that what you expected me to do? He said, "Well, yeah, I thought we would go back and forth." And I said, "No, I'm not ready to go back and forth with you yet. We just met." And that was it.
Yeah, Doug said communication and active listening.
Mm-hmm.
OG
That's it.
said there's a difference between a woman or a hyena, meaning other than a woman. All right.
Yes. Oh, gee, my name for those type of women is barracuda. So you got a
Barracuda.
woman, you got a barracuda. Barracuda. I tell you what you do, Dennis. You go to YouTube and Google Barracuda Sanford and Son and watch that episode. That's where I
Okay.
got that from. That's where I
Okay.
got the word from way back then. Barracuda. If my sister is listening, she is somewhere cracking up right now because I use that word a lot when we talking about people, about women. Barracuda.
Yeah.
We didn't catch any
But then you
barracuda
got
once.
you got other women who um let's just say I meet a girl, I'm making a certain amount of money, and the money that I'm making, I'm cool with. I make sure my money, I can pay my bills, I can do everything I need to do. Well, she expects you because in her eyes, you should be making more money. So she expects you to go out and get a better job and go make more money. And
Mm-hmm.
then the whole time, you sitting there, wait a minute, hold on. All my bills is paid. Everything is good. I'm living a comfortable life. Why should I be expected to live to your expectation? Just to be with you.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say about that. I haven't had to deal with that. I have never dealt with a man that I had to push to want to better himself. I always dealt with men who wanted to better themselves. I never had to have that type of conversation like you should be trying to do, you should be doing this. I haven't had to. No, I'm not used to that, so it's hard for me to give an opinion. My initial reaction would be, she may not be the one for you because she might be trying to make you something that you're not. And one thing that I've learned in my old age is you cannot make anybody be what you want them to be. You have to take them for what they are. You can encourage. I've seen people get together and then one or both of them become better people once they meet the other person because
Right.
they grow and change and
Yes.
they encourage
That's a
them
beautiful
to
thing
bring the
together.
best out of them. And that's a beautiful thing. But that's not how you do it. I'm sure that's not how they've done it. You can't dictate to somebody what they should do or say, well, you should be doing this. Well, you need to get a better job. Well, that's not how you encourage someone or bring the best out of the other person by dictating like this. You don't that doesn't work.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree. And that's what I was saying. But
So
like I
what
said,
you're
there's a lot
saying,
of money hungry situations out there. There's some women out there, they, first date, they want you to take them to a 5-star restaurant.
if he's a 5-star man, then yeah. And what I mean by that is if he okay, let me just say this. You know how okay, you know how y'all keep talking about Chris Collinworth talking about here's a guy or they've got a guy,
All
and
right.
he's always saying this on the show. Well, I know a guy, and this is true. And he is actually a vice president of a corporation. right?
Okay.
He makes well over 350,000 dollars a year in his role. He is actually single. And his first date, he took a girl, what's the name of that place? Oh gosh. Dave and Buster's. He took her to Dave and Buster's. She was
Okay.
pissed off that he took her to Dave and Buster's. How do I know? Because I'm her Facebook friend, and she posted it on Facebook. How mad she was that this dude, who she doesn't even know, I know, right? Remember I told you that people don't know who I know and who knows
Right.
me. It's a whole lot of that around here. They don't know who I know. And so she posted on Facebook how mad she was that this brother who makes all this money just took her to Dave and Buster. I'm not going to say what her occupation is because I don't want to sound snooty, but let's just say she makes well under $40,000 a year herself. So going to Dave and Buster's for her actually should be a treat. But yet she is complaining because she knows how much paper this man makes. So she's upset because she doesn't feel like he took her to the level of place that he's accustomed to going himself, as if he was slumming with her.
Mm.
That's something to think about. Think about what I'm saying to you, Dennis. What do you think that was? Do you think that she was right to be upset?
No. Hell no. It's the first date. The fuck? It's the first date. I was told Starbucks is a good first date.
It
The
is.
first date is where you're supposed to get to know him. What did you learn out of that first date? That you went to Dave and Buster's? What did you learn about him? Obviously, it wasn't in for you. It wasn't in for you to learn anything about him. You wanted to be wine and dine.
She did not say one thing about him. She didn't say one thing about him and what a good dude. See, I know him personally. This man is a good dude. Let me tell you what he does. He is in charge of operations at a corporation, but you won't find him listed on their website because he doesn't want to be seen and known. And that was the agreement that they made when he was hired. He takes off every 6 weeks. So he works 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So every 6 weeks, he takes a trip.
Damn.
So if you look at his Instagram page, he's posting pictures from Rio. You know, he went to Barcelona recently. I think the last place he went to was Jamaica. Isn't that where Montego Bay is? Isn't that Jamaica?
I think so.
He posted that recently. And he's always traveling, and he travels by himself. Very, very interesting. He travels by himself. But when we talk, he talks about these girls that he's getting these dates with. And I say girls because they're usually younger. And I told him, you need to up your requirements. Maybe they're too young for you.
Yeah, but they probably figured in the Snickers.
But see, then he's got that thing. He's got that thing. You know how y'all do. So when I'm talking to him, I'm shaking my head because I'm like, well, see, but you gotta make some type of sacrifice here. If you want a woman of culture and charm and all that stuff, you can't keep chasing after the booty on these knucklehead chicks if that's what you want.
Right.
What you think about that?
I think that's a good thing. It's, you know what it is, as Doug was saying in the comments, it's the vision that you have. See, his vision is that he want a girl thicker than the Snickers. But she ain't mentally there. You know what I mean? So that's usually what it is. When they got everything else, they usually ain't mentally there. That's usually what it is. Sorry to say it like that, but that's usually what it is. I don't want to say it's always like that, but It's a good 60% like that. And
Well,
that
sometimes you
girl,
find a person that has it all.
and that girl, that you were talking about, she, as Doug said, she already had a vision of what she wanted in the date. And so
Right.
when he took her to Dave and Buster's, she was upset.
Right.
She lucky she wasn't dating me, because we was going to a spot that I'm already familiar with. You know,
Going to the bowling alley.
lucky you wasn't dating me.
We got we got it's a hamburger hot dog stand downtown here in Durham. I can't think of the name of it, but I can see it. And it's one of those. It's a stand. It's like they open the shutter up, and there's the order windows on two sides of the thing, and they have picnic benches out for you to sit at. But if they ever close that restaurant, people in Durham will lose their mind. That food is so good, right? And they're like a staple. I had a guy ask me out, and he took me there. He asked me to meet him there, and I met him there, and, and we had good food and great conversation. And the last thing I remember him saying to me, well, not the last, one of the last things he said to me was, he said, "This was nice." He said, "I didn't think that you would like, you would really enjoy this as much as you are." And I said, "I'm basically a pretty simple girl and easy to please. I'm not very difficult at all." And I said, and we continued our conversation. And one of the things I remember telling him is, "Look, I don't go out on these dates to get more than what I can either afford myself or I can get my daddy to get me." I remember saying that. I don't, that's not what I'm in this for. This is about connection of the heart. And I can't connect with you if you're trying to be something you're not. So this to me felt very real. Blew him away. He didn't expect that because he had been dating these chicks. If you're not taking him to uh, Vin Rouge or La Barin, if you're not taking them there, they're upset.
yeah.
Yet they pack peanut butter and jelly and chips and a can of pop for lunch every day because that's all they can afford.
Some of them
So
can't
what I'm
even.
saying is,
Some of them don't even eat lunch.
right. So what I'm saying is,
That's the
they
crazy thing.
want you to do all of this when they're not even bringing half of that to the table themselves.
Right. That's why I said my first date, and it's kind of crazy because this restaurant actually just closed down in August. August, I think it was end of August. I used to go to Kavanaugh's, and that was just like my first date because I knew everything that was on the menu. I already know how much money I had to spend. I knew what everything cost. So right now, the only thing I'm thinking about, I know the food's good. I know, so the only thing I'm thinking about is connecting with you. I don't have to think about, oh, it might be a fight here somewhere. No, security guard right there. I know security. My brother in the back, he work in the kitchen. I know the owner. Only thing I got to worry about is connecting with you. I ain't got to worry about no extra shit happening.
Right.
That's it. So that was always my first date. One of my other dates that I used to go to was the Clock Bar. I would go to the Clock Bar on like a weird day. I go on like a Wednesday or something. And I knew the bartender. I knew everything she was doing. I knew what was going on outside. I knew who the drug dealers was because I live in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So I know everything that's going on. Only thing I'm worried about is connecting with you. This is the key here. I have to connect with you.
Right.
That's all I'm worried about. And if you can't seem to figure that out, then if you have a problem with the date, then oh well, it is what it is.
I mean, that's just how it has to be. Let me ask you a question though, Dennis. Um, let me ask you this question. Um, who do you think has the most pressure on the first date? The man or the woman?
To me, it depends on. All right. To me, it depends on how did the conversation go before y'all went on the date. Then I can tell you who got the most pressure.
Okay. For instance.
there's been times where, the conversation, so I can't even break this down two ways, but like some women will say it's on the women. It's on the women because, the women want to see if they actually get a nice guy, and they want to know exactly, where this is going to go. But it all depends on what y'all was talking about before this first date. Like, what is it that you wanted? Where you wanted to be? What are you trying to get out of a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to be a relationship?
But it's the first date.
It's the filling out process.
That on the first date?
It's the filling out process. Some people have sex on first sight. So,
well, I'm not talking about the sex. I'm just saying, well, okay. So let me explain. Josh Bailey says it's the women. Say why, Josh, in the comments.
I actually think they got the most power on the fucking first date.
Well, the women have the most power when it comes to having sex, yes, because we have the final say. We don't have to open up and let y'all in. We don't. So we have the final say. But here's where I'm going with this first date question. Another guy, first date. We met on a dating app, right?
Oh shit.
So for the first few weeks on a dating app, we were just talking within the app. And finally, I said, okay, you can call me. So I gave him my
personal number.
House. I didn't give him my cell phone number. I gave him my house phone number. Right? It's weird. I know. Yes, I have a house phone. Don't talk about me. But so we were talking on the phone, and finally, after about 3 or 4 weeks, it had to be a good month. I agreed to go out with him, and so he asked me out, and the way he asked me out was a very good ask out. I mean, he was very mature about it. I would like to take you out, get to know you better. He said, I really want to meet you face to face. He said, you're beautiful in your pictures, but I really want to look in your eyes, see your eyes. He said, the eyes tell it all, right? I was like, okay, fine. And he was like, so I really would like to take you out. He said, I'm not, in a hurry to try to get, in your house or anything like that. So I would offer to pick you up, but I don't want to seem like some, stalker. And I said, no, because you can't pick me up from my home. No. And he said, but I understand you live in Durham. I'm willing to come to Durham for the first date. I said, great. So I was like, okay. And he said, so what do you want to do? I hit the brakes. I have an issue with men asking me, what do I want to do on the first date? And let me tell you why.
Yeah, I need to know why on that one because I don't even know you.
Let me explain why. I just said to you, we have been talking in the app for a good month and a half. When I say talking, I don't mean we talked once a week. We talked nearly every day for a month, at least in the app. Then we talked another month, at least on the phone, on my house phone. Remember, he gave my house phone number.
Right.
And I had his cell phone number. We talked again for another, that's 2 months. After 2 months of talking to me and me telling you and sharing my world with you, you have no idea what I could remotely possibly like to do.
But he not from
hold it. That tells me you have not been listening. Because the types of conversations that we had, he should have known at least 3 things about me. I love music. I love Italian food. And I love sports. Because we had 9,000 conversations about these 3 things and how much I love doing these 3 things. Anything involving music, sports, and Italian food, I'm it. right? But he could not figure out anything to plan to say, hey, I thought we would. And you know, Doug is in the comments, assuming is always danger. I don't know what he's talking about. I hope he's not talking about what I'm saying,
No.
because this is what I mean by knowing me. I met you, what is it, 16 months ago now?
Yeah. 16, 17.
16 months ago now. One thing I do know that you like is you like chicken wings. Do you like chicken wings, Dennis?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm going to ask you out, guess what? The first place I say I'm going to take you. I'm going to plan a date to take you to one of the best chicken wing restaurants in North Philly or wherever you live. And then we'll probably go have some drinks at a club later or something like that. But I know you like wings. Let me just say that. I know you like them. So if I boop boop boop, I look up. I said call because I'm back in the, I'm back in the 90s. We would call back then. But anyway, I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna say, okay, well, I thought we would go to. This is how you ask somebody out on a date without asking them what you want to do. You say, I thought we would go to Joe's Wing Hut, your favorite place to get wings. You told me that was your favorite place to get wings, right? And you'll say yes. And I'll say, well, I thought we'll go there and have some wings and maybe some drinks and stuff. And then after that, if you want to go somewhere else, we can decide, where we want to go from there. How about that? And you would say, yep, okay, that'll be good. Okay, I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock, or you can come pick me up at 8 or whatever. Why is that so hard? This is what I'm saying. And I was so mad.
Can I explain?
On the inside, I'm not finished with my question. It's a two-part question.
Oh.
On the inside, I was so mad. I was like, all this time I've been talking to you, and you could not even say, okay, I'm gonna take her. What about we go to? You could put it in a question form. That's not assuming, that is asking me. I want to take you out. Okay, what you want to do? Don't do that. I cannot begin to tell you how unflattering that is to a real woman. We want you to plan something and ask us, do you want to do this? Do you want to go with me to the soccer game? Hey, my godson has a soccer game. It's Thursday at 6:30 at whatever park. Would you like to go? And then afterwards, we can go get wings afterwards. Would you like to go? Sharon the chocolate writer would say, yes, I would. Okay, I'll pick you up at 6 o'clock. Cool. That I like. This, I want to take you out. Yeah, what you want to do. I don't like that. That is not flattering. And that to me is a sign of not listening. And so what I said to him was, well, haven't you been listening to me over the last couple of months? Don't you know some of the things that I like to do? He said, yeah, but I don't know what you really want to do on a date. I don't know what you want to do on a date. I never took you out before. I don't know what you want to do.
On that one, that was the wrong answer.
I said, well, I said, well, just think of something and ask me. I'll tell you if I want to do it or not. Can you do that? I mean, we ended up having this long 3-day conversation about what we were going to do. And finally I said, well, I tell you what, you just think of whatever you want to do. And by Saturday, you can let me know. Okay? You just call me Saturday. I said, I'm not going to talk to you till Saturday. Saturday, you just give me a call at 4 o'clock. Let me know what you want to do. And I'll be ready to go, whatever that is. Okay? He said, okay. So he called me about 3. So he didn't wait till 4. He called me about 3 o'clock and he said,
okay.
Well,
Player.
this is what he said. I looked online at the restaurants near the area you say you live in, and I found 4 of them. So pick one of these and this is where we'll go. And he listed them. and I picked one. He said, okay, so then I'll take you there. Is that fine? I said, sure, that's fine. He said, and then afterwards, since it's at the mall, we could just walk around the mall and talk, or we could go catch a movie afterwards or something like that. I said, okay. Then I was fine. I appreciated that. But why didn't he just do that beforehand? Why did it take all that discussion? I just don't. I'm like, plan something, man. And I did not realize that this was a problem until I mentioned it to some of my female friends, and they were like, "Girl, I'm going through the same thing." It's like they don't have any type of imagination and don't want to plan anything anymore. They want you to tell them to ask you out, and then they want you to tell them what to do, where to take you. And I said, "That's how I felt." So now that I get all that out, what do you say, ignorant thinker?
The only excuse I have for him is that he wasn't from Durham. That's the only excuse that I have for him. Like if I'm not from, that area, then I'll be like, all right, well, come on, I'm gonna take you on a date. Where's a good spot to go? Because I'm not from it. Now, if you would say, oh no, I'll come in your area. All right, back, come on. We're gonna go to such and such, we're gonna go there, and and afterwards we can do this. That's the difference.
Well,
But I'm not mad at you for that. Asking, how about we go to, that's actually good. I actually need to take notes and write that down.
that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And I mean, even not knowing Durham, that's no excuse. He's not from Durham. No, he lived about like in the next county. And that's
Okay.
fine. He wasn't too far away, but he's been to Durham before. But that's not the point. We are in the information age. All I got to tell you is what part of the city I live in, and you can Google and find any tons of things to do around me, like he ended up doing. But it took 3 days of conversation for him to get that and get there. And when we went out, okay, Dennis, do you remember me telling you that I went out on a date with a guy and we went walking around the mall and I was trying to buy a new purse, a new,
Right. Trying to
bag.
get the new purse back. Yeah.
And he kept telling me that I should buy this. This is the same dude. This is who I'm talking about.
Oh, snap.
So I had
Lord.
already gone through this with him to even get on the date. And we had a great time at the restaurant. He picked
he already had a strike against him before the purse situation.
right.
Oh.
But I went out with it. But that strike diminished because we had such a great connection and a great time.
Did it really diminish, or is it there, but
did.
it's not as deadly as it was?
No, it diminished it. It didn't eliminate it all the way, but it just, I was like, maybe.
Oh, let me say like this. At first it was written in permanent pen, but now it's in pencil. Is that what we're gonna say?
Right. Because because I thought to myself, maybe I rushed to judgment. Maybe I was being a little bit too hard on him. He's really a nice guy, and maybe he really is interested. And maybe I said, so okay, Sharon, you can let your guard down some, right? We shopping for this purse. Then he want to tell me which purse to buy.
Oh shit. That was another strike.
You're not a woman. I'm getting involved in woman stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't like that. I didn't like that. Needless to say, we didn't go out anymore.
Yeah, see? Sometimes it's hard to get those strikes off. I ain't gonna lie. One of the biggest strikes with me, if I meet you and we talking, I was talking to this one girl every day, all day, damn it. And I think I was supposed to come meet her like a week before some incident happened. She had an incident that happened. Come to find out, no incident happened. She just lied to me. Come to find out. So, and mind you, We in the beginning stages. We ain't even in a relationship. We just talking. And I already know that you're lying to me. That's bad. That's bad. To me, that's bad.
What was she lying about? I mean, why would she be lying?
That was the crazy thing. I'm like, we ain't in no relationship. So if you messing with another dude or something, you can just say it. Like I'm at a point in my life where you just say, well, listen, you ain't the only one on the list. This list got 10 dudes on here. All right, well, cool, shit. I ain't mad at it. Yeah, shit, I could be number 10. I ain't mad at it. But don't make me think I'm number fucking 1 and I ain't number 1. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Right.
I ain't got a problem being number 10. But don't make me think I'm number 1, I ain't number 1.
Right. And see, yeah, now I'm with you on that. Don't make me feel like I'm the only girl when you got all these other girls.
Right. Like, don't make that like, and in basketball terms, don't make me feel like I'm LeBron James, knowing damn well I'm off the bench 6th man of the year. All right.
You
I'm off the bench 6th man of the year.
You PJ Tucker.
I'm PJ Tucker out there. I'm PJ Tucker. He got a cool sneaker game. He can come in, good defense, 3-pointer. That's what he is.
That's it.
Had me thinking I'm motherfucking LeBron James.
Let me read these comments, boy. So I put the question in: who has the most pressure on the first date, the man or the woman, and give their answer. And Josh said women. And then Adam Maflagui, hello, Adam, said men have a history of questionable first date moves. Granted, women have too, but men naturally want to fill the role of provider and so forth, and sometimes press that issue a little too hard on the first date. Other men are good at rolling with the flow. Women are also more mature than men. Josh Bailey said lies to that women are more mature than men. It's true, Josh. We do tend to be more mature than y'all if you're around the same age.
That's Josh Troll City.
OG said house number. Oh shit! When I said I gave her my house phone number.
Yeah.
And Doug said it depends on who is the most invested or desperate. What? Desperate?
I understand what he means.
You have to explain that.
No, there's some people out there that be desperate to have someone to talk to, someone to love, someone to be. It's listen. I know a group
they just want anybody, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but they want somebody. They want somebody to actually take interest in them and love them. Like there's some people out there. There's some people out there that they want that in the beginning relationship, first honeymoon feel all the time.
Right.
All the time. They want that all the time.
Their relationships tend not to last because they're in love with the honeymoon feeling.
Right.
They're not ready for the work. Some of them. They're not ready to do the work to maintain, but they love that honeymoon. I know what you're talking about. They love the honeymoon period. Adam says, Joshua Bailey, women do mature faster in most cases, cousin. You and I are probably the exceptions. And Doug said, assuming is always dangerous. OG said, oh shit, building up coochie credits. Sounds like he wasn't listening. No, he wasn't listening. You're right. No. Adam said, when I see Mary for the very first time, I for sure felt hella pressure. Here's this beautiful, captivating woman in this financial office, perfectly dressed from head to toe. And here I am in Levi jeans and a Ralph Lauren polo, hoping on a prayer. Really? That's just because of the way you were dressed? Wow. Turns out I later find out she was just as nervous to meet me because she was asking my friends about me and if I was single, and the rest is history. I try and go above and beyond. Mary and our anniversary is the 26th. I'm unloading my creativity clip. Yeah, you better get creative.
26th of this month? Adam? 26th of this month?
That's 3 days, man.
I'm surprised y'all not going to a nice Halloween party for y'all anniversaries.
OG said taking notes is important. Then Adam said, let's not forget the most important one that Miss Sharon is saying without saying it.
Oh, it is the 26th of this month.
That is true. It is communication. And Josh laughed at coochie credits. Oh, she said felony behavior is a crime on a date.
Y'all love Hawaii.
Josh said Sharon bring too hard. Never. Sharon being too hard. Yeah, I could be a little hard on people sometimes, Josh. I know. I have expectations. And I just
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Everybody got
I just
expectations.
refuse.
I
I just
just
refuse to settle. I settled before. I just don't want to settle anymore.
no, you know,
I
I'd
just
rather be by
don't.
myself than settle.
OG said, real talk, Josh, just like taking notes and then acting on it. Right. You got to take note. When you meet somebody, you got to take note of things. And you will automatically, if you're truly interested, you will take note of things.
Yeah,
And Adam said, I will admit in my past, I have ran into women that are very self centered and was interested in what only I can bring to the table versus what we both could. And after that red flag, I paid for the dinner, never spoke again. One thing I learned is what you did to get your significant other isn't going to keep her. You consistently have to recalculate ways to keep the fire going. Yes, sir. And
yeah,
then he said, we're going to Hawaii in November. That's cool. Back
yeah.
to
That's
Hawaii.
nice.
But yeah, I don't know. Needless to say, like I said, that was the last date. And I told you about the guy that sent me the picture of something from the parking lot. Told you
Oh
about
yeah,
that one.
gotta watch them parking lot motherfuckers.
I tell you, these people just, I don't know. It's like men are crazy. I don't understand. They think that all women want to, just because everybody has a smartphone, just about, that we want to see pictures of them. And I don't want to see that.
I haven't met too many women that actually do want to see them pictures.
I haven't either.
I haven't met too many
But
women
I
that do
don't
want
know
to see
why
them.
these, I don't know what kind of women these dudes are meeting, but I don't want to see that. I'm not into seeing body parts
Right.
shown to
I
me.
just I just haven't met too many women that actually like them. I know women that got a bunch of them, but they don't actually like them. I don't. I don't know. Me, on the other hand, all the women that send me pictures, I'm thank you. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little bit too much information. I don't want to hear that.
I just wanted to let them know that they appreciate. I appreciate. It. I appreciate the art. Okay.
Well, this
What
this
I
leads me
what
to
I don't appreciate is the dirty ass room you took the picture in. That's what I don't appreciate. Let me get that out
the
the way.
stuff in the background. The stuff in
Yeah,
the background.
they. Oh man, that's another red flag. They can send me a beautiful picture of them, but if the floor dirty and all that shit, all
Not
that went around the
interested.
window.
But look, that leads to my next question. What makes you lose interest in a woman, and for me, a man that you once had interest in?
Lies, disrespect. I think almost anything else. I think I can. We can talk about it. I put it like that. I ain't gonna say I can fix it. I used to say I can fix anything else. We could talk about it. That's what I'm gonna say.
Mhm. Hmm. Well, for me, not only is it lies and disrespect, I don't like a soft man.
You don't like a soft
My
man?
sister, my sister and I have talked about this many times. I like a man's man. I've learned this about me. I don't like a wimpy man. I don't like a man that's more emotional than I am and in the mirror more than me. I just don't like that. I'm not attracted to a man, a soft man, a man that's whiny and wimpy. I don't like men like that. And I know some men that are whiny and wimpy and they're married. And I'm looking at the women like, who the man in a relationship? You or
As
him?
you can see, she got pants on.
Right.
Yeah,
He might as well put a skirt on.
right.
See, I believe in gender roles. I'm proud to be a woman. I'm proud to behave as a woman. I love being a woman, you know? And I mean, with all my being, I am a woman. And I want a man. I want a real man. Now, does that mean that he has to be like a machine and never show emotion? No, I don't want a robot, but I want a man's man, a man who likes to work with his hands and who's strong and powerful and confident. I don't want an insecure man. I guess that's really what I'm getting at,
Mm.
because there's nothing more dangerous than a jealous woman and an insecure man. That is that is just hard. That's it. I cannot deal with an insecure man, jealous man, because that insecurity leads to the jealousy. That's where it comes from. So don't lie, don't cheat on me, don't disrespect me,
Right.
and don't get
Lies,
jealous.
disrespect. Yeah, Sheila pretty got him unmotivated to learn and do more and go places. Can work with his hands, no mind.
Right. Yeah, that's me too, Sheila. I don't like any of that. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, no jealousy. Them
But
jealous people, period, is crazy. I'm never, you live in a world where you got haters, and you expecting the haters to be people that don't know you. They hate.
mhm,
Those are the ones you expect, but it kind of hits you in a different way when it's somebody that you actually with, like building stuff together, and they're the ones that's actually hating on you, or the ones that are jealous of what you're doing. And the
yeah,
crazy thing is, I went through this, and I'm sitting and I'm hearing the stories, and I'm in denial. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I heard the story from different people, and I'm in denial. I'm in denial. Like, no, it's not true. They not hating on me. You know, and I just kept hearing stories from different people, and then after a
mhm.
while, it was like, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't. Fuck it. Fuck them. I ain't doing that shit. I ain't dealing with that shit no more.
That's how you have to be. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, because see, we don't care if the people we don't care about hate us and talk about us and jealous of us. That's cool.
Right.
That's cool with me. But if I care about you
Right.
and I hear about it, I let you in. Cause let me tell you the truth about Sharon. Can I get real honest with you?
It's a side
Can I
jump,
get
baby.
real
It's only
honest?
one way. Only one way we do it
Side
here.
John.
It's a side jump.
Let me tell you the truth about me. It took a lot of work for me to become the confident chocolate that you see now. It took a lot of work on myself because I was bullied as a child. And so through all this internal work, I have come to appreciate and truly love me. I love myself. I love being me. I love the way I think, even with all my failings, because I'm not perfect, but I love myself. And now I just cannot, I just don't jive with people who bring that down, right? I don't jive with it. And also, it's harder for people, it's harder for me to let people in than it used to be, because I've realized my worth now, right? Because I used to be one of those people. I wanted everybody to like me, like me, like me, like me, like me. Oh, please like me, please. That's not who I am now. So now when I let you in and I do like you, and then I find out you're jealous and being a hater behind my back, and you're saying things about me and doing things, that hurts, because I have taken the time to let you in, and I feel like almost like you made a fool out of me. And one thing, I'm not as stupid and I'm not a fool either. But I've allowed you to make a fool out of me. Oh no, like this right here.
Yeah, it's and it really do be like that. It really do be like that. And
And
the
let me tell
crazy,
you, when I have to do that, let me show you what this cup says. I'll see what this cup says right here. It is well with my soul.
right?
When I let you go, it is well, it is well with my soul. Believe that.
Believe that.
Yeah, I take a lot. It takes a lot for me to get to that point, but when I'm there, I am done. And I'm not, you can't bring me back. That's just where I'm at.
I'm not. I believe in forgiveness. You know, people can be forgiven and everything,
Oh, oh,
but I'll
I
never.
forgive
It'll
you.
never be. You know, like I might have gave my heart to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
I never give you my whole heart again.
mm-hmm. Right. I forgive because see, forgiveness is good for your soul, for my soul. I forgive for me. God
Yeah.
tells us we must forgive. I understand that. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. And I will forgive people. But honey, ain't no more us. I can forgive you from a distance. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to intermingle with you. There's a chick right now trying her best to get back in good with me. No, no. The
I know
answer
some.
is
I
no.
know some people trying to get back in with me, but see that, like me, I let you back in, but you ain't. It ain't gonna be the same. You ain't gonna like them back in because
Listen,
I'm not giving you all
listen.
that no more.
Let me tell you, let me help you, young man. That works in some situations. But when you have a person who was out to actually destroy you, destroy your credibility, destroy your reputation, um, and undermine your integrity, and just spread flat out lies about you can forgive them, but it's dangerous to let them back in close, though. You can't let them back in because you got to protect yourself. That is scripture. God says to guard your heart for a reason.
Yeah, I wasn't letting them back in that
You know what
close
I'm
anyway.
saying? And you can't, you gotta, that forgiveness thing is easy, but it's tricky at the same time. And a lot of people confuse forgiveness to just forget about everything and just go back just like you were and everything's gonna be
No,
right,
I didn't.
nice and
Nah,
no, that is not what forgiveness means.
you
Okay.
you on the string now. You went from being in the heart to now you on the string.
Hmm. Yeah, we put you right here, the
Yeah,
furthest away from my heart, right here. Tip of my pinky finger, the furthest away from my heart.
exactly.
That's where you're gonna be.
That's where you need to be because when you were where you
Mhm.
supposed to be at, you ain't know how to act. So
That's right. Yeah, Bill Walton. Oh my goodness. On ESPN. I guess the college game day. They got Bill Walton sitting here with this UCLA helmet halfway
uh,
hiked up on his head. Can't even fit on his big head. Helmet too
let
small.
me read some of these comments. OG said, "Oh, Sharon, man, working with his hands." And Sheila said, "Oh yeah, no jealous man." Sheila said, "Jealous is one of the dangerous emotions. It causes them to say or do things that are irrational and unpredictable and irreversible."
Irreversible.
All right.
She's right.
Also, he has to be good at his profession, no matter what the profession is, and can be appreciated what I do professionally.
Yeah.
Okay. Wish you well and wish you gone. Adam said, I love this episode today, Dennis and Sharon. You both feed off of each other well, so well. I love it. For both feed off each other so well, I love it. And I love y'all. Like and share the show. Forgiveness is for all. Reconciliation, and for only the few. So far, no one yet. Forgiveness is very difficult. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you don't learn. No, forgiveness does not mean forget, because if you forget, you don't learn the life lesson.
That's right.
Nice, enjoy. OG, thank you. I'll be doing the episode of Stay Tuned on the beach again. Okay.
Adam from the beach.
Adam from the
But yeah,
beach.
that's very real. Sheila is right about that jealousy. Jealousy causes people to do
Yes.
things that they ordinarily would not do. And they get out of their mind and do crazy things. And see, I'm crazy enough as it is. Don't try to hurt me physically. You gonna die. That's it.
Like I said, it's hard to let people back into those certain situations like that. You realize that they realize that they fucked up, but you realize that, yeah, you all right, but you all right over there. Sure, you all right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You ain't all right over here.
And I never wish these people, I never wish bad on these people. I will never do that.
Never.
Okay. But I'm not the one that you want to be dependent on if you stranded on the side of the road. I'm gonna say it that way.
Right. I mean, one of my one of my sayings used to be that, I'm no longer your cheerleader or in the stands applauding for you. I may watch you on TV if the TV's on.
Right.
That's what I
And,
always say.
and there's nothing else to watch. See, I'm gonna add that. Oh, if there's nothing else to watch, I may watch you on TV.
I may watch you on TV, but I'm no longer applauding. I'm no longer, doing all those things that I used to do. Nah,
No more pom poms. Put my pom poms away.
nah. We can learn how to be better people in a whole different way.
That's right.
In a whole nother way. Now, out of all, I'm not gonna say all, but out of the people that, did those hateful things that they did, how many of them have you let back on the string and they actually did pretty good?
One.
Okay.
One.
Can we tell that story?
I can. Sure. My
Okay.
former roommate in college. She was my best friend. She was my roommate. We fell out. I'm not giving details over the fallout,
No,
but
I
I'll
won't.
say we fell out and we didn't speak for years. And the beauty of Facebook, I tell you, the beauty of Facebook is being able to find and catch up with people from my past, right? And one day there was a friend request, and there you go. And now we are back and we're friends again. She's come to visit me here, and everything is everything again. I love her like she's my sister. Love her to death. Can't wait to be able to see her again because we reunited not long before the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
And then the pandemic hit. So my plans for 2020 were scrapped because of that. Because in 2020, I was supposed to make my way up her way to go see her, and we were going to hang out and stuff. And of course, that didn't materialize. So yeah, and she's redeemed herself. She's a different person now. She's nothing like she was. She changed. I've changed. I'm not going to say it was all me. I mean, all her. I'm not going to say it was all her. But yeah, we're different people now. And we realized that our friendship was worth salvaging. And so we did. Now, the opposite of that, I had someone who I forgave and let back in, and they did the same thing, only worse.
Dang.
That person, no, no, nope. Mm-mm. I
Mm.
wish her well, but not with me. Just not with me. But I'm a believer in redemption stories. Like how we always talking about what's his name giving all these chances in the NFL. What's his name? Josh Gordon,
Josh
giving
Gordon.
all these chances to come back. And
Yes.
people thinking it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. How many chances is he gonna get? Why wasn't this other person given chances and he is and blah 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 blah. Well, we can't figure out all mysteries of the world. But I do believe in good redemption stories. I do. I believe in second chances and I do believe in that because I've been forgiven. I've done things in my past that weren't good. I'm no goody two shoes. Some people have had to forgive me. And if I can be forgiven, who am I to say, well, no, I'm going to pick and choose and say, you see what I'm saying? That I live with that right there. So the forgiveness, yes, I will give the forgiveness. Now, this whole letting you be back in my space, in my circle, that's a whole nother thing. Because if you out to take me out, I just can't let you back near me again.
Yeah.
I
Well,
have to protect myself.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Um, She'll also said, when people show you who they are, believe them. When they change at the heart, they will show you the new them, which you can also believe. She said, yes, I agree with the three strike rule because it shows a pattern of behavior, your character. And Adam said, I serve a God of second chances and forgiveness, but I do a baseball logic after three strikes, you're out. I agree with that. I agree with all of that. So some people I ain't giving
Okay.
three strikes to.
See,
Some
that's what I was gonna say.
situations,
I can't do that. I can't confine it to a number. I
yeah,
can't.
some situations can't be to a number.
Yeah, I
My
can't
my thing
confine
is
it to a number. But I get the
heartbreak
concept.
can't be considered to a number.
Yeah. I can't do that either, but I can understand the concept and I agree with the concept. And you do have to take note. And see, this is another thing. I have a long ass memory. I got a memory like a steel trap before, pre chemo and all that. I mean, I can remember stuff that you forgot twice and I will still remember. And so while I'm not keeping a track record of your wrongs in the forefront of my mind, I don't forget that you did this to me back in 2015. I'm
Right.
not going to forget that you did that and I've forgiven you for it. So when it rears its ugly head again in 2021, I will be able to put that two and two
I can see
together
it.
and see clearly now that the rain is gone. See, that's
Mhm.
how I look at that. My sister said, yes, you do have a good memory. Yes, yeah, I do.
Definitely can see it. And so I guess as us ending out, for all those people out there who giving out second and third chances, settling, maybe you should see what life is like without settling and giving out those second, third chances. Maybe that person actually doesn't need to be in your life because they don't appreciate it.
Mhm.
Some people in life you do have to let go. It's gonna
Yeah,
be sad, it's gonna hurt, but you'll get over it. Trust me. You'll definitely get
yeah,
over it and you'll feel better because you don't have to worry about that weight bearing on you no more about that person, and you don't know what you're gonna come home to next. Maybe they're gonna have sex in the house. That's for those that's in a relationship. Those that are having like a work relationship with somebody and stuff like that, or friendship, maybe it ain't meant to work out. You got to have people around you that care about your best interests.
That's right.
For your sanity.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And you can get a sense when somebody's trying to take you out. Listen to your sixth sense. Listen to it. Don't ignore it. When you get that feeling in your gut, don't ignore it. Please don't ignore it.
Yeah.
A lot of women and you know, this has happened to many women who have been victims of domestic violence. They got a gut feeling and they didn't act on it. And the next thing they end up terrifyingly attacked and injured or killed because they didn't listen to their gut. You gotta listen to that.
Sheila, I'm here to tell you that ain't just men. It's women out there like that too.
But she's asking them. Let me just read the question. Why Sheila says, why can't men just be honest, authentic, and happy with one special person without all the extras? Extra women, extra drama, extra trauma. Why?
I'm
Well,
actually one of those guys who
I would change that to say, why can't people? Why can't some people just be honest and authentic and happy with one special person without all that extra?
there are some people who actually can. The people that actually can, but usually they end up with the wrong person.
But that's just the thing. I've told you many times, most of my friends are men. And I have some very good male friends, like the one I was telling you about earlier. That's the vice president.
Right.
That people don't know I'm friends with. They're good dudes. And they get mixed up with these crooked, evil women. And I'm like, how did you even end up with that?
And usually, you know what it is, Sharon?
Women, they end up with these badass men too.
Usually, you know what it is, Sharon? You might not like doing this, but it might have to be done nowadays where you can take a good woman that you know and hook them up with a good man that you know, and actually try to get that matchmaking thing to work out. Try. Now, I don't say force it, because some people, when they do it, they force, oh, you gotta date him. This is the guy for you. Nah. I'm having a party this Saturday at such and such. Man, you should come through.
Mm-hmm.
And then
for some reason, I know all these people that want me to find. They want me with somebody. They're Sharon, you a good woman. You need you a good. I'm like, well, hook me up with some of your nice. Hook me up. Nobody wants to do the hookup. They don't want to do the hookup thing though. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, I'm like, okay.
A lot of people don't want to do it because they don't want to. They might, in their eyes, they might think you with the right guy, and then next thing you know, it went totally left. This dude then killed 4 or 5 people. Like, I didn't know he killed 4 or 5 people.
Okay, but I can't put that on you. I know people don't always show
people do. Not, you don't.
I understand that. But seriously, I asked this one. I was like, look. He was like, you a good one. I don't understand why you need to find you. There's good men out there. And I said, well, why don't you hook me up with some of your friends? No, you don't want to hook up with none of my friends. They dogs. I'm like, okay, but you just told me that there's good men out here. You mean to tell me all you know is dogs? I'm telling you, I can't find them. I can't find the good ones. The dogs coming my way.
Dogs always
but then you tell me there's good men out here just walking everywhere. No, they're not. No. Most of the good men I know, guess where they are?
Married.
You want me to tell you where they are, Dennis? They're at home with their wives. That's where most of the good men are that I know. Because most of my friends are married. Most of them are married. I was telling Sheila this a couple years ago. I said, you know what I realized, Sheila? Most of my male friends are married. They're good men and they're married already. So I can't even pick from them. Because they're married. It's really something. But anyway, I believe God's got somebody special out there for me. I do believe it. I do. Because I know I'm a good woman.
Right.
And any man would be lucky to have this woman right here. Young or old. But I sure wouldn't mind having a sugar daddy right now. Make it a lot easier.
Sugar daddy's taking over. Sugar daddy.
I need one. I need another one. I had one. He was good to me.
Speaking of sugar daddy, there goes Czar.
And you know all I had to do? Look pretty. That's all I had to do. Put on a nice dress, come pick me up, and I go with him to all his banquets and stuff. It looked pretty. Arm candy.
That was
That was a
cool.
good time.
Man. And then do you have any last words?
Okay, so my last words is support the WNBA, support podcasters, because it's hard work out in these podcast streets.
Mm-hmm.
If you or someone you know is having trouble with mental health issues or domestic violence and abuse, please get help. You are not alone. It's an easy Google search. All you gotta do is put in help for domestic violence, help for abuse, help for mental health issues. It's in there. Just get some help. You are not alone. I also want to thank you, Dennis, for, as a co-host on the side, Jawn, for doing this podcast. I just love doing this show with you. I look forward to Saturday mornings.
That's likewise. I love doing this show with you.
Yeah,
Saturday mornings.
I enjoy it. Saturday morning.
I actually sleep early. I sleep early on Fridays just to make sure I'm ready for Saturday morning. It's crazy.
All right. Now that's a first. I really feel honored now.
Yeah.
That. To make you go to bed early. Oh, sugar now.
Right.
I'm doing it right.
You are.
But yeah, and I want to say love is love. Love is a beautiful thing. And I have said many times, even though I am not married right now, I'm not married, but I have had some great romantic loves in my life that I wouldn't trade for the world. I would not trade them for the world. They were some great men. They were wonderful to me, and I wish them well. I love them and wish them well still. We are friends still, but and I think that's the difference. I'm usually friends with people first before we get romantic, and I can't change that about myself. I'm not the one night stand chick. I'm not the just have sex just to feel the need chick. I'm just not her. I am the relationship woman. That's who I am. And I'm waiting for the relationship man to find me. But he got to be a man. He can't be this newfangled metrosexual soft ass chicken shit man. I just can't have that. I want a man that is a man, that's a leader, that can be a leader of other men, that has integrity, that believes in God and believes in my power as a woman too. So that's it. That's what I'm looking for. I mean, I got some friends. I got some male friends. I get male attention. I get enough. But if I really, want to do that real thing, then that's what I want. But love you, Dennis.
Yes. Love you too, Sharon. God bless. Great day.